even if you're not able to, answer a question, it's completely fine. So I believe that if you are able to devote that much time consistently, CAT preparation is not, something which is a difficult task. But consistency matters, obviously.
Hello everyone, welcome to Krakow interview series. Today we have Simrandeep Singh with us. He is one of the Krakow successful students who achieved a remarkable 98.9 percentile in CAT and an impressive 98.81 percentile in IIFT. Currently, he is pursuing his MBA at IIFT Delhi. Today he is with us to share his journey of cracking CAT, IIFT and converting interviews of IIMs and IIFT Delhi. Hi Simrandeep, welcome to Krakow interview series. Firstly, congratulations on converting IIFT Delhi and other baby IIMs.
Hi, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Simrandeep, can you please introduce yourself and share your education background and work experience?
Sure. My name is Simrandeep Singh, and I was born and brought up in Delhi. I did my schooling and graduation as well from Delhi itself. I've had a decent academic record. In class 10th, I had 9.6 CGPA. In class 12th, I had an 88.6 percentage, and I did my BTech in civil engineering from Delhi Technological University, wherein I scored a 75.2 percentage. Talking about my work ex, I worked with Infosys for 2 years, wherein I was involved in various real-time projects with different companies, and then I worked on various technologies like application programming interface, database management system, structured query language.
That's great. How did you manage your job and CAT preparation? I mean, on an average, how many hours you used to devote for CAT preparation?
See, so I used to like my working hours were from 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
So during that time, I was dedicatedly focused on my job. But yeah, it was work from home, so I did not have to spend time on traveling. So that was a big advantage. And after that, I would take some rest, and then I would devote like on an average 3 to 4 hours consistently. So I believe that if you are able to devote that much time consistently, CAT preparation is not something which is a difficult task. But consistency matters, obviously.
So, is this your first attempt?
No, this is my second attempt actually. So my first attempt was in my final year of my college. So I just gave the exam to get a hang of it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I did not get a very good score. So I thought maybe I can have some work ex for 2 hours and then sit for the CAT again.
Okay, how much did you score?
So in my first attempt, I had 92 percentile.
Okay, that's great. So, when did you start your preparation and what was the strategy? Like, when did you complete the syllabus and started taking mocks?
So I started my preparation somewhere around July.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've been involved in teaching students. So like I teach mathematics to students who are preparing for different exams like NTSC, IP Mat. So quantitative section was not something I was concerned about.
Okay.
So I did not have to put too much of time into that section.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it came to VA and VARC section in LIDI, that obviously required time. And for VARC, I predominantly focused on reading. I used to read articles from different magazines, and like I used to read articles from EON website, and then I referred to different magazines as well, like Economist, New York Times, New Yorker, and I also made sure that I consistently go through the editorials.
Oh,
So I think I cannot stress enough on reading when it comes to cracking the VARC section. As far as the DLR section is concerned, I think we need to get well versed with different types of puzzles. So we don't have a a fixed pattern or a set of questions that is going to be asked. That is very rarely going to be the case because they would not ask you something as basic as a pie chart or a a basic Venn diagram. So there's a blend of concepts involved in a single question. So the strategy is to make yourself well versed with different types of puzzles. So that is what I think we need to focus on.
yeah, that's great. Yeah. So, when did you complete your syllabus and when did you start taking the mocks?
See, I I was able to, complete like 70 or 80% of the syllabus around like August or September. But that did not mean I started with mocks at that point. I had started with mocks in late of July, and I think that is again something which is of extra importance. You should not be waiting for the last moment. And syllabus, like if we talk about the syllabus, we don't have a confined syllabus. You can only have a syllabus in the QA section. Otherwise, it's just like VA. In the VA section, we've got reading comprehension, we've got parajumbles. So you have to start with these sections, and then you have to give mocks consistently. You should not be waiting till September or October to start your mocks. That is not something which would be prudent.
Okay. So how frequently did you take mocks?
Initially, I would, take one mock per week, or sometimes one mock in 10 days. And then, as I moved closer to the exam, like in October and early November, I would take a couple of mocks in a week. And more than, giving the mock, analyzing the mock is important. So you have to make sure that you are, implementing. Like if you are making a mistake in the first mock, make sure that you go through that concept, and then you fill those gaps. That is much more important. And you have to spend like at least 5 to 6 hours in analyzing a mock, because I come to students who are just focusing on giving mocks,
Yes,
but then they don't focus on analyzing a mock, which is super important.
yes, yes. Analyzing is very much important.
Right.
Yeah. So how did you handle the general awareness section? Which is unique in IFT, right? So any advice for staying updated with current affairs?
See, the thing is, when you are preparing for CAT and when you are reading those articles in the editorials,
Mm-hmm.
the general awareness section is all, automatically taken care of. So I did not specifically study anything for the general awareness section before my CAT prep, but yeah, when we had this, you know, gap of like I guess 20 days between the CAT and the IFT exam, then I, went through the basic current affairs and the videos. Like we've got different channels covering videos, and Kraku also came up with the videos during that point of time. So I think that would be more than sufficient, and it has not got a very significant cutoff as well. I think it was around 6 marks this year, so 4 questions you get right, and then it's sorted. So you don't have to spend that much of time on GA. But yeah, again, if you are focusing on reading the newspapers, that is, I feel, taken care of.
So how did you prepare for your interviews, and were there any unexpected or challenging questions that you have encountered?
So my interviews predominantly revolve around, my work ex, my academic profile, and my hobbies. So I did not encounter something which I was not expecting. But yeah, I had different experiences with different interviews. Like if I talk about my first interview, which was with IIM Rohtak,
Mm-hmm.
IIM Rohtak conducts an interview in January itself. So they asked me, some questions related to my work ex. Like I had expertise in SQL, so they had a few questions prepared for me from SQL. Okay, and so the thing is, like, I could answer most of the questions, but even if you're not able to, answer a question, it's completely fine. It's just that you have to be confident enough, and you can tell them that I'm not able to recall anything. So it's not something which would create a negative impression. And then they asked me some. First of all, we have got an extempore for I am Rohtak. So you are given a topic, and then you are supposed to speak for a minute, and then basic HR questions involving tell me about yourself, your hobbies, your interests, your work ex, your educational background. So it was not, very much different from the common interview experiences we have. Talking about my IFT experience, interview experience. So in IFT, we get a a complete form to fill before we sit for the interviews,
Okay.
wherein we have different questions. So there was this question, and I had answered that question based on my knowledge of financials and economics and my interest towards investing.
Okay.
So again, they my interview revolved around that.
Okay.
So I had written about financial literacy in a country which was abysmally low.
Then, like whatever topics that you have mentioned, your interview was also revolved around that.
Yeah, yeah. So they asked me questions about financial literacy, about investing, about mutual funds, about various fixed fixed asset investments we have.
Mm.
So that is, you need to be very, strategic while you are answering questions in the form. You need to make sure that you would be able to, answer the questions which can be asked in the interview, and you need to have deep knowledge about those subjects. I was
Okay.
also asked questions about the Silicon Valley Bank crash.
Mm-hmm.
How did it impact the, IT industries in India? And I had good knowledge on that subject.
Okay.
So they are actually checking your, depth of knowledge, how well you have prepared for something which is, currently going on, something major. And that was a major news at that point of time.
That's great. So now that you are a part of IIFT Delhi, so could you share your initial experiences and any insights about the campus and student life?
Yeah, the life has been very exciting and at the same time very overwhelming because the first trimester has been very hectic.
Mm-hmm.
We've got like 7 or 8 subjects, and then students who come from an engineering background are not very well versed with subjects like accountancy, economics. So, and then we've got classes from 9 to 6. After that, we are involved with various engagements.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nothing short of exciting. And the if I talk about the seniors, they are very warm and very friendly. You can
Oh,
always approach them for any kind of help.
that's great.
And the campus is also very beautiful, as at the heart of Delhi. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been very good for me.
Okay, yeah. So how did you come across Krakow? And how did Krakow help you out in your CAT and IFT preparation?
So I came to know about Krakow through YouTube, and I was very, consistent when it came to viewing Krakow's YouTube video, especially the ones that were released closer to the exam. So Maruti sir released a series wherein he, covered like 100 question repository of 100 important questions that would come handy during the exam. So that was super helpful because you need something like that because the thing is that he covered questions from across all the topics.
Yes.
And then Siley ma'am covered videos on topics like RC and parajumbles.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when it comes to like when we are in this final stage, we should not be looking at various like there's copious amount of material available on the internet,
Yes.
but then we need to be very selective,
Yes.
and we've got limited time. So a substantial portion of our time should be spent on analyzing and giving marks,
Mm-hmm.
and at the same time these revision videos become super handy. So I feel that they help me quite a lot.
What about the daily targets? Like, do you regularly take all the daily targets?
Yeah, so daily targets is again another thing which is unique to Krakow, and they send us daily targets, and then it keeps us on track. So like we've got a timer, and then we've got a video solution as well. Even if you're not able to attempt the question right, we can look at the video solution and see where were we going wrong. So that is something which again I did consistently, and that also helped me and was very beneficial.
That's great to know. Yeah. So finally, what tips and strategies do you have for the coming CAT aspirants?
Yeah, now because we are at the final stage of the exam, now we hardly got like 60 odd days
Hmm.
before we sit for the exam. So I would say that you should be focusing on your strengths. Like if arithmetic is your stronger section, make sure you are solving each and every question from arithmetic. And arithmetic is something which has got a higher bang for the buck. Like you got easy questions, and then it has got a substantial weightage. Around 10 to 11 questions from the 22 questions are being asked from arithmetic. So when I'm talking about the QA section, you need to be very well thorough with the arithmetic part, and then you can revise various topics involving geometry. So you should not be learning any new topics right now. So if you have not done PNC, this is not the right time to start with PNC, I believe, because then you'll spend around 2 or 3 weeks learning the concepts and then implementing and you know implementing the concepts. So that would not be the right thing to do. When it comes to the VA section, again, you have to read, read and read. I can't emphasize enough on that. So make sure you are reading at least 2 or 3 articles each day, and you got to read across different genres because CAT will give you passages from different genres. And when it comes to DILR, again, you should be solving questions from your past year mocks. You should be very selective when it comes to solving DLR because set selection is very crucial. Even if you're getting two sets right, you are close to 99 percentile. So yeah, that is something which we need to focus on. So yeah, I did not have to focus too much on QA because as I said, that was my strong suit, and I was able to attend like around 15 questions in the QA section with 14 right and one wrong. So I got a 99.76 percentile in my QA section.
Great.
I had, I was not able to perform good in the DILR section. I actually messed up that section. I had a 76 percentile. But
Okay.
at the same time, I did not let that section affect my next section, which was my QA section. So again, that is also something which is very important. If your one section is not going right, and so you should not let that affect the next section. You have to bounce back
That's
because
great. Hmm.
for me it was I was actually able to score an overall good percentile even though I had a very weak percentile in the DLI section. So again, that is something which is super important. And then in my VA section, I had attempted like close to 18 or 19 questions with 14 of them right. So I had a 97 percentile in the VA section.
Okay, that's great. It was quite impressive, Simrandeep. So thank you, Simrandeep, for sharing your incredible journey, and we wish you continued success in your MBA journey at IIFT Delhi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and I wish all the best to all the aspirants who will be sitting for the exam this year.
Yeah, thank you so much.